is Valley News Live at 6.
Snow continues to pile up, and so are the complaints. Fargo Public Works getting 818 since the beginning of the season, all of them dealing with uncleared sidewalks. And while those snow-packed paths make it difficult to walk, it's even harder for those in wheelchairs.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with a man today who says the often poor sidewalk conditions make him not want to leave his house.
An unpaved path or blocked crosswalk might not seem like a big deal when you have 2 feet to get you through, but for those like Shane Lister, navigating city sidewalks can often be impossible.
If it's a good stretch of sidewalk and there's just snow, then I don't know if I'm on sidewalk or if I'm on grass, and I could get hung up.
Lister was born with a neurological disability called familial spastic paraparesis and has been getting around like this since 2011. He says even a sidewalk that's been mostly shoveled can still cause him problems, saying he prefers to see pavement if he's venturing out, especially after the tumble he had last month on 45th Street.
The crosswalk was blocked off, so I was going to kind of scoot around to go that way still, but I kind of spilled over in the other power wheelchair that I have and kind of fell on the street.
He says luckily 6 bystanders came to his rescue and helped him back up.
Kind of half laughed at it and was like, okay, yeah, see, this is what you get for thinking, I'm going to go get my hair cut.
Lister says for the most part, he relies on his family or public transportation to help get him around safely, something he says he rarely does in the summer or spring. Lister asks the next time you're out shoveling to not only think of your family and customers, but also people like him.
Somebody may not think that somebody in a wheelchair is going to be outside today, but you just never know.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
The city allows home and business owners 24 hours from the time snow stops falling to get their sidewalks clear of snow and ice. There's a $100 fine plus the cost of snow removal if you don't get the job done.
Warm temps weren't enough to win the day in weather. The wind made it feel cold out there and helped to create slippery driving conditions. Take it easy out there if you have to go out later. Hutch is here now with the latest and your no-wait weather planner. Hutch?
Thank you, Andrea. As I look across area roads looking around, we're not seeing that clear evidence of real tricky travel, but that black ice has set up in many places. Take a look. This is I-29 south of Fargo, looking towards the city lights of Fargo. Snow blowing over area roads, and it is indeed slippery. The snow driven by winds gusting over 40 miles per hour throughout the Southern Valley. Still gusts in Gwinner near that level right now. As we look on traffic at Interstate 94, it is heavy and it is slow, which is a good thing. Temperatures have risen into the 20s, but the radar shows mixed precipitation with reports of mist, some fog and freezing drizzle out there. The wind mainly causing a lot of the problems out there. It's not going away until we get into the deep hours of the overnight before things quiet down. So nonetheless, everything will remain slippery tonight with temperatures in the 20s. And your morning commute likely will be very icy as well. I'll have details on a warmer forecast trend here in just a few more moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Driving conditions have been difficult all day across the valley. North Dakota Highway Patrol and the Metro responding to more than 20 crashes and more than 20 calls for vehicles that slid off the roadway since this morning. Earlier today, a school bus slid off Interstate 94 into the median. No students were on board at the time. In Arthur, North Dakota, a driver was ticketed after crashing into a school bus with students on board. The bus was slowing down to make a turn when the van crashed into it. 4 people were on the bus. No one was injured. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, a viewer sent us this from near Monoman along Highway 200. The driver says they hit the ditch because of drifts and an oncoming vehicle.
Not only have authorities across the valley been busy today, they were busy responding to nearly 200 crashes during the weekend winter storm. In Grand Forks, officials responded to 55 crashes between Friday morning and late Monday night. 8 of those crashes are considered to be hit and run. Fargo police say over the weekend they responded to 141 crashes. Icy roads are still a problem for drivers all over the valley, and police are reminding you to slow down and give yourself some extra time when traveling.
The message apparently didn't get to people who were warned to park somewhere else. Fargo City plows returned downtown this morning to wrap up their two-day snow removal efforts. And once again, tow trucks arrived first to clear the way for them. We're told that 18 vehicles were towed this morning. 16 got the hook yesterday. People were asked to park on city ramps, lots, or avenues that had been cleared.
A 22-year-old has been sentenced to 15 months in prison after leading police on a chase and crashing into a fence at Hector International Airport. The charges against Andrew Brooke Hadley include theft, fleeing from police, reckless endangerment, and trespassing. Brooke Hadley was arrested in August of 2018 after he burglarized a home, stole a vehicle, and then led officers on a pursuit. As part of his sentencing, he was given 2 years of probation. If he violates that, he can serve 5 years in prison.
A husband and wife are said to be conscious and breathing on their own as they undergo treatment in the Twin Cities for carbon monoxide poisoning. It happened at their home in Minot. Emergency responders found the two unconscious and breathing on Sunday. An investigator said that the source of the carbon monoxide buildup is believed to be faulty heating appliance in the home's basement. Carbon monoxide is odorless and colorless, so installing detectors is the only way to monitor it. If your detector sounds an alarm, evacuate the building immediately and call the fire department. Carbon monoxide detectors are recommended on every level of the home.
Neighbors say a Frazee man is holding on to dear life after suffering serious burns in a house fire. They identify the victim as 24-year-old Morgan Fincher. He was taken by helicopter to a Twin Cities hospital. 2 dogs died in that house fire last night along Main Avenue. One neighbor saw the whole thing. He says smoke and flames filled the entire house. With first responders whizzing by on the street, the flames were eventually extinguished, giving officers time to bring the victim outside the home.
He was charcoaled. He's got second-degree burns. They life flighted him, I think, down to Minneapolis.
We want to make sure that they know that we're thinking about them and that we care about them. So it's just a horrible thing that happened.
The Minnesota Fire Marshal is investigating the cause of the blaze.
It's January 21st, and we've got the ingredients necessary for flood problems this spring. Following one of the wettest falls on record and with heavy snow, North Dakotans are being warned about increased flood risks. And FEMA's been updating its flood risk maps to reflect this.
If we were to get one of those early March rain events, we could still see an impressive amount of runoff. So for the time being, we don't have a lot of risk out there, but we know we have some of the conditions that do encourage springtime flooding.
According to the Insurance Information Institute, North Dakota has increased the number of flood insurance policies since 2008 from less than 400 to more than 1,500.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, the latest fight against illnesses associated with vaping. What's being done to teach kids about the danger.
Windy, but above average temperatures across the valley as we head into our midweek. The milder weather does continue, but still slippery road conditions. Your hour-by-hour forecast is straight ahead. Join us right after this.